Hello and welcome to Online Baking Academy. Today is the last episode of our sourdough starter for beginners. If you have been following along on day 1, 2, 3 and 4 and so on, now it's about 10-12 days since we started our sourdough starter, and you should be about ready to move into the next phase, which is the maintenance phase of your sourdough. And I will explain a little bit about when is your sourdough starter ready to bake with. So when your sourdough starter can safely pass the floating test, where you take a little bit of your sourdough starter and dump it into some water and the sourdough starter floats, then you know it's vigorous enough and has enough yeast activity that it can bake bread with it. Also at this stage, you can now convert your sourdough starter into a 100% rye sourdough starter or a wholemeal sourdough starter, or you can go plain white flour if you're only making white bread. You will just keep on feeding it the same ratio as I showed you, and you just use the flour that you want depending on the flavor and style of the bread that you are making. So you might be wondering, how do you store your sourdough starter? If you're baking every single day, then I would feed my sourdough starter at the same time every day, and I would just keep it in my microwave because it's the same temperature and it's free of draft. But if you're not baking every day, then it might be a little bit too much to feed your sourdough starter every day. So put it in your fridge, and then if you want to bake, let's say you want to bake Saturday morning, then you take out your sourdough starter Thursday morning and you feed it, and then you feed it again Friday, and then Friday evening you can mix your dough that you can bake Saturday morning. That way you can store your sourdough starter in your fridge, and you only have to feed it like once a week or every 2 weeks, and it can keep in there for a very, very long time. You just need to attend to it once in a while, and let's say if you're baking once a week, that is perfect. And now your sourdough starter should double in size in around 5 to 10 hours, and it should be ready to make your dough. I've added a little time lapse for you to see how my sourdough starter is doubling in size. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I hope to see you again very, very soon with a sourdough bread video. And you can join our Facebook group where you can connect with other home bakers. And remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and see you next time.